On today's show, we are going to be talking about having the life that you love. Hello, I'm Shannon Skinner, and this is Extraordinary Women TV. My guest today is Katia Millar. She is the founder and Chief Inspirational Officer of Positive Fabulous Women, and she's got quite a story. Later in the segment, before we take a break, I'll have my regular Good to Know Minute when I ask my guests for their top success tip, and you're going to hear Katia's. Well, welcome to the show, Katia Millar.
Great to be here. Thanks, Shannon.
You know, this is fantastic because when I first launched this show back in September of 2010, I interviewed you then, and we talked about Positive Fabulous Women and its start and its growth at that point. And here we are. A lot of time has gone by. You've grown, the organization's grown, I've grown, the show's grown, and it's nice to hook up with you again.
Yeah, it's good to reconnect, see where we're at.
Yeah.
Catch up.
And you're still wearing a lot of red.
That's my color.
It's your
what
brand.
Can I say? I'm trying to branch out a little bit orange and stuff, but I'm still a red girl.
Now let's talk about your career journey. Now, you really began your career in publishing. For many years, you spent a lot of time in publishing. So, what got you interested in publishing to begin with?
I just had this passion for ink on paper. I was in university, and that's all I could, that was my dream, was to work in publishing of any printed material. I was fine. So I started book publishing. I did trade books and school books and legal books, the whole magazines, newspaper. I covered the entire publishing industry. So it was a great experience for almost 18 years.
And so at some point, something happened and you decided, I don't want this anymore.
Well, after all those years doing, covering the industry and doing everything there is to do in marketing and project management and sales and all this stuff, I wanted something else, something different. I want to grow. I want to challenge myself. And I felt that I was spending way too much time sort of in the back end of the business, managing stuff instead of being in the front, creating and all that. And but I didn't really know what else to do. It's all I'd ever done, really. And so I kind of went on a little journey, trying to figure out what Katia wanted to do eventually. Or there was a lot of soul searching, a lot of digging, challenging the status quo, and asking really big questions. And
so at that time, was something feeling off or just not right, or were you just really unhappy or unfulfilled? Could you put your finger on it?
Yeah, I just knew that there was more in store for me, that the path I was on was not going to get me to what I wanted to accomplish in my life. It's just this nagging feeling that that there's more. And I think a lot of people, especially women, get that feeling and we just kind of shrug it off and we think, this is good, because it was fine, right? It wasn't horrible, or I knew there was more. I could do more with my life, and I didn't have the answers. And sometimes we just go on a quest, and it takes a while and we have to be patient, but we'll figure it out.
So what did you do in this time of your soul searching journey of yours to find, what Katia Millar's heart really wants?
Well, lots of reading, lots of personal development courses and programs, reconnecting with myself, really. I mean, that's, there's a lot of resources out there, but we have to be willing. I had to kind of face Katia, and that's sometimes harder than all the other stuff, and really kind of be brutally honest with ourselves and what works and what doesn't work and what makes our heart sing and what doesn't, and people and everything, right? You have to question everything. So it was a long process, probably over 5 years of searching.
Did you feel lost in that time, or
Yeah.
did you just? Did you? Yeah. Was that,
Yeah, people who know me from those years, admit that they were quite concerned. I felt I was looking for answers, feeling lost, but always believing inside that I was going to get somewhere. I never felt like this is not going anywhere. I'm not going to figure this out. I knew that I was going to get there. So just, I believed that in myself and what I could offer the world, and just kind of stayed on this thing. And I kept, obviously you don't just completely, I didn't disappear, drop off the face of the earth. I was still out there reconnecting with people from my past that I cherished, and some friendships kind of faded and made new connections that were positive and fulfilling. So sort of spring cleaning my life, and it takes years, right?
Well, could it be in that time that all that energy was shifting so that it put you on the path that you're on now?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
it's like created the space,
Yeah.
like birthing a baby, right? It was like this. Once I had the answers, and it's not like I woke up one day and said, this is it. I mean, it was a very slow process. And once I figured out what I was going to do and how it was going to show up, and how, the action part, because we can know the what and the who, but until you get to the how, that's the hardest part. It really, despite my business background and all that stuff, I started this with very little vision, I should say, for how it was going to show up. There's a quote from Martin Luther King that says, "Faith is taking the first step without seeing the whole staircase." I'm paraphrasing here. So that it was really just taking that next step. I knew that I wanted to create a space for women to come together and connect and network and grow and socialize and all that, in a fun, nurturing environment. But I didn't really have a long-term vision, but I just created it. That was my action, just to at least get started. And it's just, that's the way it's been for 4.5 years. It's just taken one step, maybe sometimes 3 steps, but sometimes you take baby steps and sometimes you take the giant leaps. We don't have to just kind of go. I'm just not a jumper. I kind of go feel things out.
Go stand at the edge.
Check in
at the edge and look down.
That's right. And check in with the gut. Do a gut check. If it feels good, then I take the next step,
right.
and the next step, and the next step.
So why Positive Fabulous Women? I mean, how did you come up with the name? They're great adjectives, by the way.
It's just one of those things again. It just I started with Positive Women, and then decided to throw in the fabulous to add a little bit of sass in there. No marketing or branding or anything. It was just one of those things that just kind of,
felt right.
It just felt right, exactly. So that's the name. I get asked that question all the time, which is funny, because it was just like, Positive Fit Women sounds, maybe I'll throw in fabulous. And now I use fabulous more than I use positive.
So now the organization has really grown over the years. I mean, how many members are there now?
Well, we have about 6,000 women in the Toronto area who are connected to us. Whether they're, we have members, we have different membership levels. We have some people who are connected to us through Meetup. We have, social media, Facebook, Twitter. They all consider themselves members. So, our message gets out to at least 6,000 in the Toronto area and about 15,000 worldwide, all over the world.
That's
really
great.
In the U.S.
Yeah. So congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a heck of a ride.
So what does the organization do? I mean, what are the activities and events that you have going on?
Well, the main thing that we do are the events. I mean, that's what we're known for, and that's why I started, basically, is to bring women together and, to connect in person. So we do 2 or 3 events a month, everything from personal development workshops, movie discussions, networking minglers, social events. So there's a wide range, and whether a woman is just looking for connections and support and inspiration, or whether she has a business and she's looking to network and meet like-minded women for friendship and networking, that's what makes us special, really. And for entrepreneurial women who just want to, sometimes you don't always want to network. You want to get out, you want to meet women who you connect with and socialize. So you know, networking does not have to be done in a formal networking setting. It could be done anywhere. And
the word networking has become this sort of a negative feel to the word networking.
Well, we call it heart-centered networking. So it's a little bit less focus on exchanging cards and selling and pitching, and more about building relationships and knowing and liking and trusting the people that you're talking to. And when that happens, then the networking just happens. You don't even think about selling or anything. So it's a slightly different approach to how a lot of groups do it. A lot of people refer to us as a networking group, but our networking is just so different, and I really like it. I think it really relates to how women see, and a lot of women they're not comfortable with networking. They'd rather go to get a root canal than go to a networking event. But if networking is happening in a way that really honors who they are as women, and not just about exchanging cards and pitching and stuff, then it's going to be fun and enjoyable, and they're much more likely to keep in touch without thinking that, oh, this is a follow-up and sell. And so it's much more natural, I think, to women, the way we do it.
Well, there are a lot of women's groups out there, whether you want to call them networking groups or resource groups or whatever it may be. Certainly a lot of them. And it does seem that what makes yours different is this heart-centered. I think you refer to women as soulpreneurs.
Yes, S-O-U-L, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, and that's whether heart-centered women, right? Soulpreneurs, right. Including soulpreneurs. Some of them are just heart-centered women looking for answers, just like I was a few years ago, and wanting to know that they're not alone in the world, that they're not crazy. You wake up and you go, why am I questioning everything? What's going on with me? So to find a network of other women that are asking those same questions is incredibly freeing and a big relief to them. And if for those who have a business, and want to do it in a way that is that feels comfortable and fun and natural, and you're building relationships, then that's really what we offer. We can be networking while we're learning about meditation, and while we're learning to belly dance, and learning about feng shui or aromatherapy. I mean, these are all some of the topics that we do. And there's networking, and there's a lot of amazing business relationships that come out of it, and I hear about it. And even though when when you look at it, it doesn't look like networking to you, but that's how women operate, right?
So just sort of to clarify, it's the events take place mostly in Toronto.
Correct.
But of course, the message is really
universal.
Can be
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks to social media.
Oh
and the
yeah,
internet.
Social media has been it's an amazing tool. And we, when I started my business, just me running this business, so I just jumped on social media and focused on growing my personal network, and PFW is getting the message out. And Facebook and Twitter has been, and Meetup have been absolutely instrumental in helping us reach women that we wouldn't have otherwise ever.
Right, Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to take a quick break, but before we do, it means it's my Good to Know Minute. And Katia, I know you've got a great success tip, so jump right in there.
It's about knowing yourself, really getting clear on who you are, what you stand for, what are the values. And when you have that clarity and you know how you want to show up in the world, everything will open up. So know thyself.
Well, that's good to know. Know thyself. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more with Katia Millar, founder and chief inspirational officer, Positive Fabulous Women. We'll be talking about an event coming up as well, so stay where you are. Welcome back to the show. I'm Shannon Skinner, and I'm speaking with Katia Millar. She is the founder and Chief Inspirational Officer of Positive Fabulous Women. And we're talking about your journey and the start of your organization, the growth of the organization, which brings me to this next topic. You have an event coming up on May 4th. Ignite and Connect. Let's talk about that.
Yes, let's do it. Well, it's going to be our biggest event to date. We're going to have 220 women, a full day of juicy, heartfelt connections, learning, just a fantastic day. We've really created a day that is not only inspirational and fun, but really give women some practical tips they can walk away with that will help them in their personal life as well as their business. So I'm very, very, very excited.
And you've got great speakers. Rona Maynard, former editor of Chatelaine magazine.
She's an author and an award-winning journalist, so we're very excited to have Rona. We also have Pat Mijiu in the afternoon, who's an acclaimed coach and radio host, and she's done a ton of speaking. Thrilled to have Pat. She's a dear friend of mine. And we have all kinds of fun stuff going on, from laughter yoga to belly dancing, interactive circles to make sure all the women connect with on a more intimate level with other women and talk about different topics. So it's not just the speakers, but smaller discussions. And we're talking money in the afternoon. We have a money panel.
Money, very important
moolah.
For women.
Yes,
and women entrepreneurs especially.
Absolutely.
So important.
Absolutely. And so lots of really wonderful speakers, wonderful exhibits. We've worked really hard to create a day that will be magical.
As a full day event taking place in Toronto, of course, more detail can be found at the website Ignite and with an N, Ignite and Connect.
Yeah, or Positive Fabulous Women. Yeah.
Or Positive
That's
Fabulous
right.
Women.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm very excited to go because, well, I'm very, very excited to go to the event, but I'm also honored to say that Extraordinary Women TV is the proud media partners. So I'll be there, I'll be speaking to some of the women, and I'll be reporting back to you on that.
Very excited about
So May 4th in Toronto, Ignite and Connect, hosted by Positive Fabulous Women. You can find out more information. Oh, charity. There's a charity.
Yes, I was just going to say.
Yes.
We're very thrilled to be raising funds and awareness for Metrac's Maybe Me campaign at the event. So it's a fantastic campaign to raise awareness against violence for women and youth. So very thrilled to be part of that. And so come on out, and it's going to be a fabulous day. Lots of goodies, lots of wonderful connections. I would say heart-tingling conversations.
Love
it. And so if you're a woman entrepreneur in Toronto, then this will be the place to be on May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. Be positive and fabulous on May 4th.
Absolutely, yeah.
So again, you can register and find out more information at igniteandconnect.com, at positivefabulouswomen.com, and of course you can check my website out at extraordinarywomentv.com. There's also information there as well. One last question, Katia.
Okay.
Oh, I'm really, really eager for this one. How has Positive Fabulous Women changed your life?
In ways I never imagined or thought possible, really. You know, I started this with an idea. I knew I could pull it off, like, bring all the speakers and the venue and this and the business side of things to make it happen. I never envisioned my face showing up on the marketing and stuff. So for me to accept that role of being a leader is still something that kind of boggles my mind. I didn't start with that intention. Not only a leader, but a chief inspirational officer. I mean, that's just, it took a while for me to really accept that, like here, really accept that it's not, arrogant of me to give myself that title or to be there. That's part of our branding, and I'm good enough to take on that role and the responsibility.
And what is the responsibility of a chief inspirational officer?
Well, I get women writing me all the time, asking me for advice, for tips, and some of it, expecting me to have all the answers when I don't really. What I have is sharing my story, and to show up real and authentic and still be inspiring. It's a balancing act because I'm human and I have my off days as well. So I share that because I can't handle people thinking I'm happy and got it all under control all the time. So it's changed me in every aspect in my life. I mean, personal life, relationships, I feel differently. I carry myself differently. I think differently. I went from, sort of taking orders to having to create and be a visionary, and it was always in me, but to give myself the permission to actually act on it and to be that person is quite a transformation in 5 years. So, wow.
So is there anything else that you would like to say, any other sort of message that we've not touched on?
I think we've covered pretty much all there is to cover. It's funny, people always think that I'm some kind of or my group is, a feminist, anti this or anti that. And all we are is just creating a space for women. The message is not excluding men, it's just supporting women. So there's a bit of a difference there. And sometimes there's a sort of a thing about why don't you allow men and why not? And it's just about really connecting with women. For nothing in my life prepared me to be doing this work with women, but I just feel I can relate to where women are and what they need to hear, and I feel blessed to be able to give them that opportunity and the place where they can show up and really feel honored and that they're heard, their voice is heard. And it's a very special, sacred place when we can do that. So it's a beautiful work.
Well, Katia Millar, I have really enjoyed this time with you, catching up, finding out really where you're at now with Positive Fabulous Women, and I really am looking forward to this event on May 4th, Ignite and Connect. Come on out.
Can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait. You get to meet the lovely Katia Millar and moi.
Yeah, and lots of other fabulous women.
And lots of fabulous women, positive, fabulous, extraordinary women. So, again, thank you so much. Wish you all the best. And I'll be seeing you soon.
Thanks, Shannon. Can't wait.
Well, for more information about Katia Millar and Positive Fabulous Women, of course, you can visit Katia's episode page on my website at extraordinarywomentv.com. And for more information about upcoming shows or to contact me, that's the same place that you can find me at extraordinarywomentv.com. Well, if you are interested in transforming your life, I hope these stories have inspired you. You've been watching Extraordinary Women TV. I'm Shannon Skinner. See you soon.